Good afternoon. I'm KHOU Meteorologist Chris Ramirez. We are tracking new updates from the National Weather Service. They have now issued a winter storm watch for majority of southeast Texas, and this is for this weekend, primarily through Saturday morning through Sunday afternoon. We could see some power outages as well as some tree damage possible with the possible ice accumulations that are expected for us here across the Houston area for this weekend. It's not just us, but the entire state of Texas about to be impacted by this next winter storm event. There's also an extreme cold watch that's in place for all of southeast Texas for this weekend. So this is going to be this storm is going to be causing dangerous feels-like temps between 5 degrees and 15 degrees. Worst of the cold temperatures are going to be expected Sunday night, and so definitely if you haven't taken those necessary winter preparations around your home, it's going to be the time to do it, especially before this weekend. So that does include wrapping pipes, dressing in layers if you are exposed to the elements for this weekend, as well as protecting those plants across our area. So the KHOU 11 weather team has issued a weather impact alert for this weekend stretching into Monday. We do expect significant travel issues for this weekend. Also, a hard freeze is definitely possible. That means that we're going to see temperatures around in the 20s for a prolonged period of time. And so when we do have those ice accumulations, that does have the potential for power disruptions as well, especially as we head into our weekend time frame. So as far as our weekend winter weather timeline, we are expecting the worst of these conditions to be Saturday night stretching into Monday. The impact does include ice and a hard freeze, so the need is going to be able to winterize those homes and make sure that you have those necessary preparations. And a lot of folks are asking if we're going to see snow. It's going to be more so of that ice event for us here across the Houston area. So when it comes to ice on Saturday, there's really a low risk. We're not going to see this until later on Saturday evening. However, we will see more of that ice threat going to be on Sunday. We have a little bit of a high risk category for us as we head into the start of our work week. And we do have a medium risk, more of an elevated risk for power outages as we head into Sunday and into Monday as well as a high risk for a high freeze warning. So as we look at this weekend, the timeline, much of Saturday is going to be above freezing. We're going to be in the 50s. We're still going to see some widespread precipitation across our area, but we will see it probably fall in the form of rain. However, it's when we head into Saturday evening is when those temperatures will start dropping into the 40s and potentially 30s as we head into the early morning hours of Sunday. That is when we're going to have to really pay attention to what's going to be happening Saturday night into Sunday morning, as well as this widespread. You see these pink colors. That is ice accumulations that is possible for us here across the Houston area for primarily areas north of I-10. So that does include downtown Houston, areas north, Conroe, the Woodlands, even Tomball, Magnolia for this weekend, especially as we head into Sunday. And we are expecting those temps to, of course, drop into the 20s and 30s into later on into Monday. When it comes to that ice potential, we do have the risk for ice accumulations here across Houston area. That does include all of our bridges and overpasses. Every freeway here in the Houston area rises above the ground. That really does we could see some possible travel issues when it comes to traveling on those roadways, no matter where you are here across the Houston area. And so what we're looking at here is the different precipitation types. And so we really are going to have to pay attention for the potential for freezing rain, likely, as what usually happens that it falls in the form of frozen precipitation and then it definitely melts in the middle of the layer of the atmosphere, and then eventually once it makes landfall or once it lands on the surface, it actually freezes on contact, and that's what really creates that black ice and those travel concerns, especially as we go into this weekend. So icy bridges and overpasses likely going to be the threat for this weekend. And so like I said, even though you're seeing this bridge with water flowing below it, all of our major freeways here across the Houston area very well are elevated, and we still could see them freeze first before any other roadway across the area. Looking at the radar right now, we are not looking at any freezing temperatures right now. It's quite warm out there, but there is some showers across moving into the Houston area, especially from Angleton to Freeport, even into Galveston. So we're going to keep that little bit of a rain chance for today, but it's not going to be until this weekend is when we're going to really see the potential for this winter weather event as we head into Sunday, Monday, and into Tuesday, especially as we head into the next few days. So definitely expecting those conditions to remain mostly a bit on the more heavier side in terms of weather impacts. But looking at that 7-day forecast, it's going to be Saturday, Sunday into Monday is when we're going to see that potential for rain to mix as we head into this weekend, especially as we head into the 20s, especially as we go into early Sunday morning. So rain to mix as we head into Saturday, lasting into Sunday, and then we are expecting these cold temperatures to last as early as Monday morning across our area. So definitely that's our 7-day forecast. So if you're just now joining me right now on KHOU 11 Plus, the National Weather Service is already issuing winter weather alerts for the Houston area as we prepare for what's about to take place heading into the weekend. So winter storm watch expected for much of the area, especially areas north of I-10 as we head into this weekend, Saturday morning through Sunday afternoon, and we could see some power outages as well as tree damage possible as we head into this afternoon, especially as we go into this coming weekend. Also the extreme cold watch. Once this cold front does move through, it will bring some quite gusty winds, and that really does create the dangerous feels like temps ranging between 5 degrees and 15 degrees as we head into the start of our Saturday night into Sunday morning. So the worst of the cold expected Sunday night. So definitely that is hard freeze criteria. You want to wrap those pipes and make sure that we have the necessary preparations here across the area or across your home as we head into this weekend. And so significant travel issues are expected, hard freeze possible, as well as the potential for power disruptions as that ice accumulation does create a high risk for power disruptions as we head into our weekend. So as far as your weekend winter weather, the KHOU 11 weather team issuing that weather impact alert from Saturday evening into Monday. The impact does include ice. Folks are asking if this is going to be a snow event. The main issue is going to be the ice accumulations that we're expecting to see here across the Houston area. So you do need to winterize those homes and possibly avoid travel Saturday night through Sunday and into Monday as we head into the start of next work week, which is why we are giving you the message right now to make sure that you have those necessary preparations. And we are pretty confident that we are expecting to see more of the colder temps on Sunday, Saturday night into Sunday. We do have some changes in our weather models, the latest ones that have come in. We do have our European model that has shifted everything north a few miles or about a couple of 100 miles. But it's just kind of important to realize that we are expecting this swath of precipitation with this next system that is going to potentially bring colder conditions, especially as we head into the start of next week. Saturday, we will see mostly rain, but then those temps are going to remain above freezing for us. We're going to be in the 50s, likely in the 40s. And then once we head into Saturday night is when we're going to start seeing those temps drop into the 30s. Areas north of Houston, likely to see more of those freezing temperatures heading into Sunday morning. And that's when we could see more of this precipitation switch over to that freezing precipitation, likely in the form of freezing rain or possible sleet as we head into Sunday morning through Sunday and into Monday. So areas north of Austin, likely between, this does include all of our major corridors here across the Texas, the Lone Star State, does include I-35 and does include I-45 stretching as far north as Dallas. You're going to see more of that snow potential for portions of the Dallas-Fort Worth area. We're more likely going to see more of that ice accumulations, which is a bit more dangerous in terms of travel concerns here across the Houston area. So that global, the GFS model ice potential does include us as we head into the next few days. And it's the freezing rain that's just really going to be more of the threat for that, as we're going to have to keep an eye on the freezing rain and possibly ice accumulation. That's really what causes that. And also, like I said before, I can't emphasize this enough, that all of our major freeways here across Houston, they rise above the ground. There is that air that flows below it, and that really does create more hazard of any accumulations to occur on those elevated bridges and overpasses first before anything else. And so definitely take that in mind as we head into Sunday and Monday, or early Sunday morning into Monday, as we head into this next weekend. But right now, we're not looking at any freezing precipitation. It's just rain. Temperatures have been quite warm today. We're not expecting the arrival of these colder conditions, at least until this weekend. And so definitely keep that in mind as we head into the next few days, that we are expecting those conditions to remain mostly a bit on the warm potential for the next 2 to 3 days. But as we head into the next 7 days, just keep in mind that Saturday, Sunday, Monday, the days that we're going to have to really look out for, especially Saturday night into Sunday and Monday, where those temps are going to be below freezing during the overnight hours. And we do have a high risk of that precipitation. There's a question of when this is actually going to switch over to freezing precipitation. And it's going to be likely early Sunday morning through Sunday. And then temperatures still remaining just above freezing. We might be below freezing for quite a while into Monday. And that's we could see still those ice accumulations still be an issue into Mondays, which is the reason why we're issuing that weather impact alert through the start of next week. So definitely take those precautions and prepare now while we have the warm temperatures, especially for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, because our temps are going to be in the 70s, lows in the 50s and 60s. And so we still have the potential and they still have time to make those preparations as we head into this weekend with the arrival of this next winter weather event. So that's the latest forecast for you, and this is our latest update. Make sure to tune in later on this afternoon at 4 p.m. Meteorologist Pat Kavlin will have more for you on the latest forecast and what to expect as we head into this weekend. Have a good rest of your day.